Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Death from Above 40k. Today we're just doing a 1,000-point battle between the Blood Angels and this Tyranid force. And heading up the Tyranid force is Brad. Say g'day, Brad.
G'day.
G'day. Jesus, you got to get better at that. So, if you hear some humming in the background, that's just the air conditioner and a fan going out in the shed, because here in Australia it's 41 degrees today and we're pretty much dying. It is that hot, like I'm pretty sure if I cracked an egg on this table it'd start cooking. So we're only doing a short game so that we don't actually die of heat and we can bring you some entertainment. Sorry for the last week as well that I didn't put out a video. Over the Christmas holidays, been flat knacker, painting up some new models. So let's have a look at what I've done. So in this 1,000 points of Blood Angels, we have the new Blood of Baal book, and my wife for Christmas bought me this new model. So he's been painted up, Mephiston, the Lord of Death. Here he is in all his glory, the new Primaris version, ready to head up the battle. I also added in this guy, painted him up with his Grail now that he can have a jump pack again and be an official model, so happy with that. And I added in this guy as well, which is a new model I've just painted up. So all three of these have only just been painted this week so that I can have a jumping banner, which will be the Feel No Pain banner, no doubt. And then I did some freehand work on my Baal Predator because I wanted a Baal Predator in the list, and it's cool. So let's break the list down. So for 1,000 points, what have I got? So we've got Mephiston, we've got the Sangreal Priest, so they're the two HQs, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 5-man squads of intercessors. They've all got assault bolters and a power fist on each of the sergeants. This guy will be the warlord, so he'll have artisan of war, so his chainsword will be +1 damage, so 2 damage chainsword. And the other thing I'll be doing is, because this will be the relic on this guy, the Banner of Sacrifice, giving him the Feel No Pain, I'll spend an extra command point to give this guy the it's the armor, Artificer armor. So 2 up save, 5 up invulnerable, just to make him a bit more durable, see what he can do. Then in the list, as I said, we've got this guy in the elites. Then I've got a 10-man unit of Death Company, which I'm rebasing, rearming at the moment. So 5 of them have got power swords, 5 of them have got chain swords, everybody's got a bolt gun. And then of course the Baal Predator. And then, because I had a few spare points, because we're still building this list for Ark, heading towards 1350, I've just put this attack bike in to make it 1,000 points. So that'll be 8 command points, and it's coming up beautifully. I'm really happy with how the characters have come up and the new sort of take on the army. I'll be doing a Tactica video once I hit the 1350 mark to go over everything, exactly what I've done and how this works. Alright, coming across here, we've got 1,000 points of Tyranids. So what have we got in the list? At the front here, we've got 30 Homogaunts. We've got 1, 2 3-man warrior squads. Each of them squads is armed with Venom Cannon, Death Spitters, and they've all got Bone Swords. So they're the 3 troops choices. Then in HQs, we've got a Walking Hive Tyrant with Venom Cannon and Monstrous Rending Claws. Oh, sorry, not Monstrous Rending Claws, Monstrous Scything Talons. Then he's got his 3 little bodyguard with him. Then we've got a Tyranid Prime with Bone Sword and Death Spitters. Then we got 1, 2 Lictors in the elite slots, and then we got 1, 2 Carnifexes with the Spore Cysts, so they're neg 1 to hit, Enhanced Sensors, so they're +1 to hit you, and they've both got Heavy Venom Cannons and Death Spitters. The 2, because this is Hive Fleet Saber that I usually run them as, so now that I can give them their own little things, I've given them Metamorphic Regrowth, so all the monstrous creatures regrow, or actually everything with multiple wounds gets a wound back at the start of the turn. And the other one I've gone with is Synaptic Augmentation, which gives them, each unit gets a free reroll to hit in combat, shooting, and in Overwatch, which I think is really good. As for relics, we've given the big guy the cannon that always shoots 3 shots, and then his Warlord trait will be the one where he never has any negs to hit. So that comes in at 1,000 points pretty much exactly. So what we'll do is we'll roll up a mission and we'll get these 2 fighting and going at it. Alright guys, so we've rolled up a mission and we rolled up the relic. So in the center we thought it'd be funny to use the old model of Mephiston as the relic. So here he is, tiny little old Mephiston, and big Mephiston coming to get him. So he's coming to collect a part of himself. Alright, so in the deployment phase, Brad selected the deployment zone. So I set up the first unit, and obviously we've gone back and forward, and this is what we come up with. So for the Blood Angels deployment, on the far right, I've set up the Bale Predator hidden, as I've stated I would be doing with it, so that it doesn't get shot up in case I don't get the first turn and can pop out and do its thing with the Heavy Doctrine. Then if we come to here, I've got all my characters in the center here, surrounded by 1, 2, 3 units of Primaris Marines. And then on the very far left, I've got an attack bike, just so I've got some heavy guns on that side as well. And then the Death Company are in Deep Strike Reserve. Then if we come around here for the Tyranids, so Brad has 2 Lictors in reserve. So then on his far right, looking down the table here, he's got 1 Carnifex, then he's got some Warriors each side here with the Warrior Prime. Oh, that's the Warrior Prime Center, and then some more Warriors over here. Then he's got big group of Hoggenbull across the front, another Carnifex, Hive Tyrant and Tyrant Guard. So he's right here behind this, so he's pushed up as far forward as he can. So we're both going to be running to the center to try and grab this sort of stuff. So I set up first and got +1 to my roll to see who goes first. So we'll roll off and see who goes first. So what do you get? A 4 and I got a 4, so I get the +1, so I'll be going first, unless you'd like to try and seize the initiative, Brad.
I will.
Don't you do it.
Yeah.
That's a 5. So the Blood Angels will be getting first turn, so hopefully you'll come back in a minute. There'll be none of these left on the table, and I'll have just won the game, 1 round. Alright, we'll get back to you in a sec. Alright guys, end of Blood Angels turn 1. We've got a pretty solid push forward. So over on the left hand side, this comes scooting around here. In the centre here, all of my guys stayed in sort of a bubble and moved forward. There seems to be a bubble theme going on with all my armies. Characters at the back here, and then all these guys are moving up. And then this zipped around to here. I used big guns, never tire on it, so I didn't get the penalty. In the psychic phase, I also used Mephiston to put a 5+ invuln on this tank, so I thought that'd be where it was, and I didn't do any other psychic powers because I thought don't want to risk suffering perils of the warp if I don't need to. Alright, shooting phase. So this and all these assault bolters and this over here shot across into here and cleared out all 30 gaunts, giving me first strike. So that's pretty much it. There was no assault. So assault bolters and this tank being AP2 on all its guns really sort of put the punch on him. So I didn't come too far forward because I didn't want him to get the assault on me, but I'm forward enough where I'm still in cover and putting down a hail of fire on him. So he'll have his turn now and see if he can't return the favour with all these big guns, and he's still got warriors and stuff everywhere. Alright, we'll get back to you then. Alright guys, at the end of Brad's Tyranid turn 1, he's rallied back. So this Carnifex pushed around this side, getting a view down here. The rest of these guys pushed down the centre here, getting a view down the centre. And then these guys are obviously all the way up here. So psychic wise, he put Feel No Pain on these warriors, and he gave these guys onslaught, which is why they're all the way up here. Between his shooting, so all these big guns, focused fire over here, blew up the Bale Predator, which also blew up a Marine over here. Then all these sort of small arms fire everywhere else, shot around, took a couple of guys out of this unit over here, so there's only 3 of them left, and then shot a few more guys out of here, then ran in and assaulted them. So that guy's on 1 wound, and the sergeant's at full health. Sergeant hit back and took 2 wounds off one of these guys with his power fist. So Brad did manage to get first strike as well, so we've both got first strike, and both made an aggressive push for the first turn. So I'll have Blood Angels turn 2 and see if we can't get ourselves out of this mess. Alright guys. Alright guys, end of Blood Angels turn 2, and there's been some massacring going on. Alright, so from the centre here, I used the Blood Chalice to bring a guy back, then I paid a command point to heal him. So this unit's back up to 4 people. And then the combination of this, well actually Mephiston just killed all these warriors here, but these guys all charged in to help out, and then they've all consolidated forward here. These guys ran over here and punched into this guy. We killed most of them, but then how many wounds is he on, Brad? Or is he full health?
He's on 1.
He's on 1 because he had Feel No Pain on him, so we couldn't quite make it through them. But that's alright because we're up in his grill. Over here, these guys dropped down, all 10 of them. There's 9 now because 1 got killed in Overwatch. But I activated the tactical doctrine, and because I've given these guys all bolters now, as you can see they're getting painted and stuff with the bolt guns. They had 20 shots that are AP1 now, so that's quite handy for when you drop them in, so they get like multiple use. They managed to shoot a heap of holes through this Carnifex, then cut him down with the power axes, and then consolidate to there, so they're right up on his door. And then as you can see here, we're sort of holding Mephiston. Mephiston? He's holding Mephiston. Mephiston? Mephiston? Mephiston. No one knows what's going on. Alright, so we'll get back to yous with the next Tyranid turn that Brad just seems to be still on the table, and we'll see what happens. See if he can't crush some heads. Alright. Alright guys, at the end of Tyranid's turn 2, things got real brutal. So we've had some movement and some things happening. So, first of all, Lictors, both Lictors and these guys ran over here and reduced these guys down to 6. They killed 4. In return, they lost a Lictor, and this guy's on 1 wound. Here they fought with these guys but didn't come off so well, and then he made a big massive push across here and took on these guys. He took 3 wounds off Mephiston, and then his other guys took a couple of wounds off my Warlord, but then the Warlord and these guys took a few wounds back off the Hive Guard. But then when Mephiston hit the big boy, Mephiston did like 12 wounds. He put 6 of them onto the Hive Guard, pretty much removing the unit, and then took 6 himself, bringing him down to half. Then he went to fight again, but he was hitting on 3s and whiffed it and didn't do so well. So Mephiston could have killed him, but the shield wall actually saved him. And we're still on the same amount of points and no one has this yet. So I'll go on to my turn 3 and see if I can't do something about these Gribblies, and we'll get back to you at the end of it as the Blood Angels go into the Assault Doctrine turn. Dun dun dun! Alright guys, at the end of Blood Angels turn 3, we turned on our Power Swords, turned on our Power Fists, turned on our Power Axes, power everywhere, bloody pow pow. Okay, so movement wise, this turbo boosted and zoomed across here to the center, so that's all it done. These guys all moved around the big Hive Tyrant and collectively prayed hymns and threw power fists and harsh words at him and eventually brought him down. It actually took every single person here to do it because he had Feel No Pain on him, so it was like 4 up in Von and he had Feel No Pain. And then he rolled a 6 with the death throws, and that's what all these dice are, because Mephiston took 2 wounds, this guy took wounds, these guys each took a wound each, so they got beaten up in the process. And then over here, we ran over here, did nothing, and then he did nothing, so that was a bit of a stalemate. And then over here, he killed a heap more of my death company. What was it, 3 more?
Yeah.
And then I tried to fight back and hit his Tyranid Prime, but he rolled 3 6s to save it, and it's still there on 1 wound, so we're just stalemate there. So we've had a look at it, and Brad's got enough to go on to the next turn and see what he can do, see if he can retaliate. I've only got 1 troop over here, but there's not really any troops other than that on the table, so pretty much anyone can come grab Mephiston, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at the end of Brad's turn if he can do anything. Tyranids. Okay guys, end of Tyranids. Movement, he backed out here with the idea of being, if I charge again, he gets a chance to shoot. And these guys over here just mashed through the rest of the Death Guard. So pretty much he's cleared out this side of the board except for these 3 guys. So I got all these guys over here, but these guys all have the ability to fly. So I'm going to go on to turn 4 and see if I can't rid this table of the rest of this Xenos filth, because we do not have it. Blood Angels don't stop at half time. We make sure there's not 1 Gribbly left, and you guys are Gribblies. Alright, so we'll see if I can get through him at turn 4. I'll probably leave this Sarge here to hold this. We'll see what happens. We'll get back to you. This big guy here will probably still be alive and annoy me, but we'll see if he's still here. Alright guys, at the end of Blood Angels turn 4, we've secured old Mephiston and we've tabled the Tyranids. So there was heavy losses. Pretty much everything's gone bar the characters in the army. So we've got Mephiston, the priest, the banner guy, and then a couple of troops scattered around still to live on to be the new founding fathers of the Blood Angels after this big loss. So, for man of the match for myself, I have chosen the new Mephiston, of course. And Brad, you chose, what's this guy?
The Tyranid Prime.
Why did you choose the Tyranid Prime?
He did way better. I thought he was.
What was that?
He did way better. I thought he would. He survived for so long against what, like,
He did.
power axes.
He does, and he's got 6 wounds. He's carrying a heavy boulder, and he's got some big choppy sticks, strength, toughness 5. People really underestimate him for like a 74-point model. He's actually same toughness and stuff as something like this, you know, and you can still get him feel no pain. I'm going to give it to the new Mephiston. This model kicked ass as he always has, but now he's just that tiny bit better with an extra attack, extra wound, and looks shinier. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a smaller battle today, and we will be getting some bigger ones going again. It's just around Christmas time, so we're just kicking back off, getting ready for the new year. We want to get back into people selecting what armies they want to see on the channel. If you want to see more of this and more of the Psychic Awakening stuff with these new armies, we're happy to do that. If you want to do some other stuff, we'll do that too. So if you like this, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you don't do it. And yeah, hope everyone enjoyed the holidays and this time of year, and we'll get into 2020 with a heap more battle reports. Cheers for watching, guys.